started, yeah.
Merry Christmas!
Merry
Christmas!
Sleigh Yeah. You are listening to the Christmas special of the 1 Hour Stories podcast.
The 1 hour Christmas cast.
The
1 hour Christmas.
1 hour
Yeah.
nog.
One
cast.
Christmas stories.
Eggnog.
I forgot to bring my
Christmas.
sleigh bells.
Do you actually own sleigh bells?
I do. I have one sleigh bell. I don't know if it's one sleigh bell or if it's sleigh bells, but it's one thing that has lots of bells on it.
Oh, I
That,
see. It's like a branch with
shape, yeah.
individual leaves.
Yes,
Of bells.
and it's really, really loud.
Is
Do
it?
you know? Do
Yeah.
you know what the best festive metal album is?
What?
It's by a band called Slayer.
Well done. So it's the evening of the 10th of December. So Christmas is still over 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
This is helping us get into the festive spirit.
Yeah. Have you put up your decorations at
Yes.
home? Yeah. Rob hasn't, because he's a
Well, me.
Krampus.
I put up all of the house decorations.
Oh, your
Uh,
parents?
Yes, I just don't have any in my actual room.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I don't think I have any in the bedroom.
Oh,
I've
you
got
do?
the tree in there. The main bit.
I'm gonna have that
The
nice,
living room.
that nice poster of Santa with his boobs out up in my room.
Licking them.
I've got a present for you. Have you been naughty or nice?
Ugh. Is that your story? Are you done now?
Yeah, that's the story. Yeah.
So if you've not listened to the podcast before, you may not have done. What happens is we decide on a theme. So the theme for this podcast was Christmas. We all get together in a room and write for an hour, write a short story, and then we read them out.
Though this was the first time that we'd done the hour writing with a soundtrack.
Yes,
Yes.
that's true.
We had a Christmas mix 2013
Yeah.
compiled by a nice man on YouTube.
A nice man. It sounds like it had been compiled by
No,
a
it was a
14-year-old girl.
No, I think it was a man. From just looking at the tag.
I have to say it was a mixed bag.
There were 3 Justin Bieber songs.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of people in there.
Chris Brown as well. This
Yeah.
podcast's official favourite
Real nice
human.
guy. If anyone's getting coal for Christmas, it is Chris Brown.
Yeah. Hopefully in
Hopefully
his face.
coal and a court order as well, but you know.
Yeah.
And a note from everyone in the world saying, stop making music. Just stop.
Yeah. Signed by Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be a good present for the rest of us. If
That
we
would,
just stopped.
yeah.
He's not a nice man, is he?
Yeah, despicable.
So we skipped that one.
Yes.
We listened to all the Beatles songs.
Yeah.
They sounded quite good in comparison.
Yeah, I thought so.
There's one with an excellent reggae beat.
There was.
Reggae
Yeah.
Christmas.
And then we listened to Stop the Cavalry.
Yes.
Joan Lou. Are we allowed to do that? We'll probably get sued.
I think that
it'll be
counts
alright.
as- I think that
Universal
counts as
recording.
personal use.
Personal use? Is that what
You
the
have-
agreement is?
Yeah, if you use it for non-commercial personal use, a small
So,
clip.
but we make loads of money out of this podcast.
Yeah, we do. We're making oodles.
Yeah.
Oodles and oodles.
We're taking all those sales away from Jonah Levy.
All those thousands of sales of that song, which is up for free in 25 places on YouTube.
So who wants to go first?
I think it's my turn to go.
I think it is your turn to go first, actually. Yeah.
But if somebody else wants to go first in the Christmas spirit,
No, you'll
Oh.
gift me the privilege. of
that's
going.
your present.
I think I should go first. Oh, it's Santa. Hello, Santa. Yeah. No.
Santa's gone.
Santa's
gone.
Yeah,
He realised he was
story.
late.
He didn't realise he had to write the story. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, and I'll go first. Mine is much shorter.
Than usual.
Yeah,
I think all of ours are relatively
Yeah,
short. this
I
time
think we
around.
struggled a little bit, didn't we? Because none of us.
I didn't struggle, actually. I struggled to get it done in the hour. But
I think, well,
the idea was something that could have gone on infinitely really well. There was I could have added any number of details that I struggled to get where I needed to get to, but I knew that I had to get there. If that
right,
makes sense.
fair enough.
But yeah, I think they are shorter than usual.
Right, mine's not very nice.
Oh.
But I quite like it as a story. It's not disgusting.
You're
it's
not very
just,
nice, and I quite like you.
Okay.
As a story.
It's called Christmas Number 1, and it was an idea I had floating around for a while. But
Oh, really?
I've just kind of. It's just like a vignette. There's nothing really happens. Anyway, it's called Christmas Number 1.
Take it away.
Fucking go again, she says. You fucked it up, she says. "The mix is all wrong, you knobhead," she says. Rudolph lowers every knob on the board with a sweep of his arm and peers through the murky window into the recording room. The woman, whose name he has already forgotten, looks like a belching angry lizard in a vivarium. He motions at her to wipe the window. For some reason, she's brought several thermos flasks of eggnog, which she has left bubbling on the various chairs and tables, gouts of eggy steam giving the room where Stevie Wonder and Cream once jammed all the atmosphere of a coastal cement factory. What a fucking joke, thinks Rudolph. The last plane back to Munich before Christmas Day left 2 hours ago, pulling itself up through the hot rain that London has donned. And he is stuck here with this utter rhinoceros of a woman, as dense as Stolen, barking orders at him through the microphone. Even her complaints are out of tune. 3 more hours, he thinks, as he listens back to what they have recorded already, muting her gluey whines about levels and bass and all the things she's heard about on the television but does not really understand. Of course there is no Santa Claus, thinks Rudolph. If there was, he would have sent this woman a car crash for Christmas rather than the winning ticket. He scratches at the red pom-pom hat that he is contractually obliged to wear for the remainder of the day. It had been a special Christmas lottery draw, a partnership between Gesundheit Studios and the worst of the television talent shows, one which reminded him uncomfortably of footage he had seen on his parents' television, stood at the bottom of the stairs at midnight at the age of 3, of the culling of disabled prisoners in Serbia. They had screamed just like the talent had, stood on the revolving star in the centre of the stage, learning of their fate. Win the ticket and record a Christmas #1 at the world-famous studio with a world-famous producer. It was guaranteed to go to at least the top 10, but no closer. Rudolph had been handed the song structure, the lyrics months ago, and had recorded the melody, sleigh bells and all, in September. This creature had won the draw a week ago. He looked forward to finishing her fetid noise and making that flight back home to see his brother and his children. But then had come the congenital heart defects, the complaints that she had made of the stress of travelling to London from Somerset. The recording had been delayed by weeks, and she had remained a barrel of complaints, screaming at Rudolph down the phone that this was her right and she had wanted to write her own song. She had been persuaded down from this lofty height, but still the recording had been pushed back, and now it was Christmas Eve, almost midnight. They would not finish the song at the stroke of Christmas Day. It would drag on into the early hours, and it would be awful, and he would have anxiety attacks relating to his involvement with it. All she had to do was sing the fucking chorus. They had managed the verses, her harping it out at such a variety of pitches and keys that even the auto-tune gave up. She sounded like a sort of sad robot wail on record now, but there was nothing to do about it. The backing singers for the chorus had come in 3 weeks ago and laid down their parts. True professionals. The recording room had smelt of aftershave, the seats dusted with talc when they left, as if they were only ghosts leaving behind designer ectoplasm. But no, she had her own ideas for the lyrics. She had a daughter with narcolepsy, didn't he know? He did know, it had been reported on the news. She wanted the song to be for her. Well, the song was called Wide Awake for Santa, which he thought might be a little cruel as a dedication, but he did not argue with her. She wanted to change the lyrics. The pitch was all wrong for her voice. Her little girl wasn't going to like it at all. She wanted her #1. She wasn't going to lose out to that ironic black metal group from Finland, or that Mexican teenager who had never released an album and yet had speculatively sold more of his speculative music than Michael Jackson had in his entire career. She was not the worst person to reach #1. She tried again, at his request. It was dreadful. Nobody else was left in the studio. All the lights were off apart from in these 2 rooms. His studio manager had already taken down the tree so that it wasn't waiting for them sullen and shedding in the new year. She tried again. It is dreadful. He lowers the board again. She takes a sip from each of the eggnogs. He can almost smell it through the glass. It passed midnight 10 minutes ago. The reality show executives have told him that he is in breach of contract, that it is his fault that she cannot sing, that she will not cooperate. He must finish tonight or they will initiate proceedings. He puts the board up again. She is screaming again, saying that it is all no good, that they have to start again. He needs to call the backing singers. The backing singers will not come. They are sleeping on memory foam in their beautiful homes, with nose clips and throat sweets, with tastefully wrapped presents under real, non-drop trees. There are no windows. He cannot tell if it is snowing, but it was sunny today, and there's been no snow in London in years. She asks if he is listening. She tells him that he had better stop dreaming of the Christmas markets and get his kraut balls out of his chair and fix her microphone and headphones. They are making her sound all wrong, she says. He leans his head against the soundproofing, pretending that it is memory foam and that he is horizontal and that there are no lights on at all in the building. She is pretending to cry now, showing him a picture of her daughter through the glass. The eggnog bubbles on, and like a witch, she tries to conjure some sort of festive demon, some crepuscular magic, something that two people might share alone on the eve of Christmas. She wants him to learn a Christmas lesson. He mutes the board. She pounds on the glass. He shuts his eyes, and he is no longer, in his mind, in bed with those seraphims, those sprites and pixies who had wafted into his studio weeks ago and done their job perfectly. He is aboard a plane, with a large cup of something cold and decidedly non-festive. He is flying through the night skies, through the clouds luminous with the lights of wide-awake children below. In his reverie, he looks out the plane window. At the tip of the wing, at its very nose, the warning lights flash. Red, red, red.
Oh,
Yeah.
that wasn't awful.
Well, I don't think it painted particularly.
I felt sympathetic towards him.
Towards him, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean
Was that not the point of it, really?
Yeah, kind of.
I like the use of the Stollen.
Yeah, yeah, I thought you
That
might.
Christmas cake that somehow is in all the supermarkets now, but never was 5 to 10
It's
years
decidedly
ago.
German
Yeah.
and very buttery. It's very nice though.
Yeah, it's great.
I loved all of the imagery of around the back vocalists.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
All of that.
Good.
Sleeping on memory
Yeah.
foam.
Did you like the allusion to Rudolph the Red-Nosed?
Yeah,
And
yes.
the
That was
nose
good.
at the end.
There's a lot of nice
That's
little
what I
sort
was-
of Christmassy touches.
Yeah, well that's yeah.
Good satire on the X Factor culture, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, what a world we live in. It's true though.
No, that was good. It was clever in that amount of terms. It's something you could genuinely imagine happening because
Yeah.
of some kind of fucked up contract with the music industry or whatever.
Well, I just, the whole Christmas #1 thing, I never really buy music when it comes out anyway. Like, I can't remember the last time I bought an album or anything because it was coming out now. It's more, oh, I've got a bit of money. Oh, I want to buy this. This came out 10 years ago. So the whole idea of things, of charts and things like that, I find quite odd anyway.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
But none of the music we like is in the charts.
No, well, exactly. But I'm not opposed to a
Weird.
good Christmas song, but...
I miss good Christmas songs.
That's true. Like that one The Darkness did.
I don't know you're in the darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the darkness. And now he's in a band called what? Hot Leg?
Hot Leg.
Hot leg.
Oh yeah. The Darkness got back together.
Oh,
That
did
was
they? That was his interim
band
band.
between
That's his.
Hot Leg. They played at the Cavern when we were undergraduates.
No way.
And I didn't
Yeah.
go.
No, I didn't go either.
Did anyone
I didn't really
go
like
to see
the
them ever?
darkness.
I didn't like the darkness.
No, that was.
I'm
it was
sorry,
a bit
Justin.
I sort of liked them.
What was
at
his
the time.
name? Justin
Justin
Hawkins.
Hawkins.
Justin Hawkins. I'm sorry, Justin Hawkins.
It was sort of that glam rocky thing.
Yeah.
I never really
Yeah.
got that myself, but yeah. Anyway, there we go. Nice short story for him.
Yeah.
So who's next? Who went first last time? You did.
I went first last time. So
It must be
Is it
cool.
me?
I should be last probably.
Yeah. Last. Like always.
Always last in life.
Yeah. And last but not least. That means you're least. Both of you.
We can't both be least. Can I be less least?
If you're good.
Okay.
If you make me coffee.
I'm happy being least.
Alright.
I don't need ownership anyway. There you go. My story is called Jacob's First Christmas. His last 2 Christmases have been spent in hospitals, surrounded by tubes, wires, pallid greens and blues, steady beeps, gentle electric humming, the stale smells of disinfectant and mass-produced hot meals. There had been little difference in December to the rest of the months of the year, aside from a fake Christmas tree and unobtrusive lines of tinsel catching the windowless halogen light. This year it was different. Jacob's father was gone. There had been no visits to the ward for 5 months, no kindly looks from nurses, knowing looks from other visitors, that grim acceptance of the inevitable. There had been no card exchange, no chance for Jacob to get another bumper haul of easy-read large print novels. Instead, he had received a present of sorts early. His father's bookcases, hundreds of books, half of them never read. Jacob remembered that his father had once noted that if he managed to read a book a week, it would have taken him 20 years to read every novel he owned. He had never had that much time. This year, Jacob had another place to go. Somewhere warm, inviting, the smell of cinnamon and hot chocolate almost melted into the air. a traditional roast instead of plasticine-like slices of turkey, a real tree, a log fire. He was dreading it. He would almost rather have been at the hospital. It was his first Christmas spent with Susie. Every year since they had met, they had gone their separate ways over the holiday period, but this year he had nowhere else to go. It was not Susie that was the problem, of course, it was her father. Gerald Carey. He was obviously a caring man. He supported his wife through a difficult redundancy. He set up Susie with a good flat, a base of operations, as he put it. When his son, Gareth, split from his wife, he was there to make sure that he got all the support he needed. He was a man of strong morals, of decency, and that was why it pained Jacob so much that Gerald seemed to dislike him. His communication with Jacob was generally nothing more than a series of grunts and one-syllable words. There was no interest in his life, his background, his potential as a partner for his only daughter. When they had first met, Jacob had expected a firm handshake, some kind of veiled threat if he ever dared to hurt Susie, but a gradual acceptance. Instead, the handshake had been limp, non-committal. There had been no threats, but nothing else either. A passivity that Jacob had never witnessed Gerald have for anything else in his life, not for his family, not for his friends, not for his job, or for his passions. And Jacob knew that Gerald was a good man. Jacob had been loved by his own father, but in his darkest moments he admitted that his own father had not been a good man. He had realised this at an early age, a row over gambling debts, a slap, his mother crying. This had become his norm, a broken family held in place by a mixture of stubbornness and genuinely having no better life options. His own brother had left when he could, and the two barely spoke. It was not only the separation of continents that caused it, but the feeling of abandonment, of Jacob himself being left to the wolves, of Jacob being left as a carer for two parents that had always hated each other. Because how could he have left his father? In spite of all his faults, Jacob had still loved him, a habit unable to be kicked by rationality, by the pull to escape. It was not just the violence, the gambling, there was the fraud, the debt to sharks, the racism, the fact that his father had been stealing money from his own son, taking advantage of the only person he had left, the destruction of a repaired lung by continuing to smoke after a series of operations to save his life, and that final death rattle, the phlegmy laugh as he tried to grope his female doctor. A true role model. Truth be told, he had never had a real Christmas. His childhood had never been a day of a safe haven. There had been the culturally obligated necessities, the tree, the lights, the presents, some kind of roast, but the problems had still remained. That one day had never been different. They had never listened to the Queen's speech, never had a lazy afternoon nap with the bridge over the River Kwai blaring in the background. The only sleeping was that of his father's, a drone, a snore brought on by brandy. Jacob had no idea how to act. He had a knowledge gleaned from Christmas specials on television, from the books he had read to escape during the holidays, from stories that his friends had told him. It was amazing how easy it is to gain enough to put up a barely noticeable facade. He had grown good at it over the years, the one skill he truly believed in. So he did what he could. He packed up the car with his gifts. He wondered if there was a difference between a birthday gift. Oh, my
We can put in another technical difficulties bit.
Yes!
Almost
Almost as if I did it deliberately.
Yeah, you just want to get a go see.
I just want to, yeah. Fuck you, Magic.
How did it open?
I don't know.
Did you accidentally click the
Maybe I accidentally swooped my mouse over.
Swoopy swoops.
Where do you want me to go back to then, Paddy?
Can you remember where you were?
I can remember where I was, but I don't know whether it'll be easy.
Start from the beginning of the paragraph.
Yeah, the beginning of the
Jacob
paragraph.
had no idea.
Okay. Jacob had no idea how to act. He had a knowledge gleaned from Christmas specials on television, from the books he had read to escape during holidays, from stories that his friends had told him. It was amazing how easy it was to gain enough to put up a barely noticeable facade. He had grown good at it over the years, the one skill that he truly believed in. So he did what he could. He packed up the car with his gifts. He wondered if there was a difference between a birthday gift and a Christmas gift, whether there was any nuanced sentiment that separated one from the other. He hoped not. He threw in the mulled wine, a series of more and more tasteless jumpers, a multicoloured hat. Susie offered to drive. He declined. They drove away, Christmas songs blaring in one last effort to shell-shock his brain into activating festivities. It failed. Susie kept a hand on his knee, and for most of the drive, it comforted him. When they arrived, 2 hours later, it was beginning to rain. It was a mild day, and it was going to remain so until the new year. The small threat of snow had been eradicated with a true British efficiency. Susie's family was there, waiting. She jumped out, ran to her mother, her brother. When Jacob joined her, he was met by Gerald with a nod, another weak handshake. And then, after an awkward moment, a brief, strong hug. Gerald cleared his throat and muttered, barely audible, "Merry Christmas, Jacob, welcome." And Jacob smiled for the first time in a long time.
Yeah. That's very nice.
Very nice.
I decided I wouldn't write about people being cut up.
Yeah.
Was that on the cards this week?
But that's the thing. When you started it, I thought that was where you were going to go.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be some kind of someone dying in a hospital on Christmas Day or something.
Did the sneaky flip reverse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A switcheroo.
Like the
I
best
never-
Christmas
It was
stories.
Yeah, I never really write anything that's not
That's
horrible.
nice.
Yeah.
It's quite different.
How do you feel?
How's it going?
I feel
Do you feel a bit
glow
sick?
inside that I think is vomit rising
Yeah.
to escape.
I think you should never write anything else again. It's not good for you.
Yeah.
It was good though. I
Yeah,
liked it a lot.
well, thank you.
Very heartwarming.
It was good. The talking about the kind of the parents and the imagery there. It's quite a good sort of timely reminder that Christmas isn't actually that happy for a lot of people.
Well,
There's a lot of
Yeah.
shit surrounding it.
Well, it brings it
In many cases.
because it's such an intense family time. I guess it brings into focus all of those problems that they're not necessarily Christmas related, but
just the sort of
throwing
focus
people
of
together.
everyone together.
And the ritual
Yeah.
of it, the
Yeah.
ritual of all coming together and the performance of it. So if you don't have a normal family, Christmas is geared around a normal nuclear family,
Yeah.
the performance element of it. And so it just brings up if you don't have that. And I think you captured that really well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's just the thing about having to be with your family, isn't it? I mean, everyone's family is just mental.
I like being with my family.
Yeah, but
I like
me
my
too.
family.
But it's always an odd one. I think
There's
it's
a lot of differences between us.
Our best Christmas thing is my parents have an incredible Christmas decoration, which is Santa Claus riding a motorbike. It can just sit on a desk somewhere. And what it used to do is it used to have a sensor on it that made it sing a song and like rev its engine when you walk past it.
Like a
Unfortunately-
big
like
one of Billy
those,
Bass.
yeah, one of those Billy Basses or the ducks.
Sorry, I was thinking Billy Bass.
I enjoyed it. But unfortunately, the sensor's broken now.
Does it rev constantly?
I mean,
You just hear it from the other room.
Can't turn
It'd
it
be
off.
great if it went off in the middle of the night.
Jingle bells. That's great.
Yeah.
What a great decoration.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say the thing that's good about my parents is they have a Sussex Spaniel.
Well, that is also good.
That's a non-festive advantage.
I
You can
made
put her in a little.
Oh.
I made a terrible mistake the other day in teaching my dog how to go for the little dangly bits on my hoodie,
That's a dreadful idea.
and it was really funny for about 20 seconds.
And then she garroted you.
And then I realised, oh wait, this is never going to stop. Because
quite
when you
near
teach
my
a dog
neck.
how to do something, that's never going to end.
No, it will do it until it doesn't, and then it will do it again.
Yeah.
Dear,
So don't come around my house with a hoodie.
I never would. I have one hoodie that I don't really like. Don't worry about it.
I've got a few, but I wouldn't wear them.
Well, I have drawstrings on some of my trousers.
Oh,
Don't want to be undressed by your dog.
That's even easier for her to access because she's quite short.
She is quite short being a dog.
But even for a dog,
Even for a dog, she's quite squat.
Yeah.
she's stunted.
It's Paddy's turn to
It
finish us off for the year.
For the year,
That's
yeah.
our last story.
We will return in 2014.
2014.
So I didn't title my story.
Is it called Untitled?
Untitled. Yeah. Christmas
Untitled.
Untitled.
I don't think Untitled. Not Untitled.
And it's sort of the idea of it came from a conversation we had at my birthday this year. Me and you, Robert Gordon.
I'll try and remember this.
You will remember it hopefully, or it's an idea that you had. So I've kind of stolen, not your idea for a story, but your idea for
Stolen my
something
IP.
else. Yeah, I kind of have. Yeah, it's going to kind of reveal an idea that you had is now going to be in the public domain. So you might end up suing me over
I think
this.
I will.
Like
This
this.
might be the breakdown.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm going to see you.
Yeah. So I kind of tacked that onto a Christmas setting, but yeah, you'll see why. Here goes. Fred, as always, was the last to arrive on Christmas Day. He rolled in a little after 1 in the afternoon, just as Aunt Frida was putting on the kettle and his younger cousins were finishing the building of their new Hornby train set. This year's family gathering was the largest for a decade, and it took him a full 5 minutes to get around everyone and greet with hugs and kisses. The constant refrain that he'd grown since last year despite being only a few months shy of his 30th birthday. He accepted a cup of overly milky tea from Frida, protesting that he didn't mind that they only had decaf because Albert really gets affected by it, you see, and settled down to show the kids how to change the points on the Hornby set. After he'd sorted the trains out, Frida asked if he'd go and get Aunt Gwen from upstairs. He was about to knock on the door of the bedroom where Gwen had been hiding when he heard her voice in conversation with Aunt Pat and Uncle Roy. "I see approaching 30 hasn't improved his dress sense," said Aunt Gwen, and Aunt Pat giggled schoolgirlishly. Uncle Roy chuckled too before intoning, "Apparently he's had another major breakthrough with one of his inventions, and this time it's really going to take off." Let me think, where have I heard that one before?" said Gwen. "Oh right, same time every year, just like the cracker jokes. I wonder what crackpot idea it is this time. A disposable toaster?" They descended into cackles once more, and he decided to leave them to it and risk Frida's wrath falling upon them. Descending the stairs, he ran into his cousin Sasha, who had really grown this year, from a shy 8-year-old into a confident, animated 9-year-old with braided hair and a surprisingly competent singing voice, which she carried everywhere with her. She had a sad face on, however. Her bottom lip stuck out sulkily. "What's up, Sash?" he asked. "Well, I learned how to play chess this term, and I really want to play with Grandad. But I can't play now because we'll be having dinner soon, but every year after dinner he just falls asleep. He promised me we'd play, but I know he's going to fall asleep." Fred smiled a knowing smile. "Well, I have a pretty good feeling that he's going to stay awake this year. I'd be willing to bet on it." "What would you bet?" 50p. "Okay." And with that, she ran back into the living room, where Fred followed. Frida caught him on the way in. "I hear you're unveiling your latest invention after dinner, and it's been quite a success," she said. "We've had a significant investment, yeah. Well, I look forward to it." She asked him to make the gravy, which had been his one thing to bring this year, while she grabbed Gwen, Pat and Roy from upstairs. He did so, and within 15 minutes they were all sat down at the table together. Fred perched on the retractable end, the bridge between the adults as they discussed interest rates and immigration, and the kids as they discussed Justin Bieber. When dinner was over, his mum tapped a spoon on her glass and the table fell silent. Fred was a little embarrassed, but he could see Gwen sniggering, so he stood up to reveal what his new invention was. "I know you all think I'm some kind of deranged inventor, a nutty professor," he said. "A regular Caractacus Potts. And yes, I've had some failures. But this invention has secured a sizable investment, and I'm happy to tell you that it will soon be on the shelves in your local Sainsbury's." Gwen stopped sniggering at this, and her eyes rounded on him with genuine interest. "And in fact, you have already experienced the invention. You ate it, without realizing, in your Christmas dinner." The attentive faces turned unanimously to concerned ones with raised eyebrows. Nobody protested, so I know you couldn't tell, but the gravy was caffeinated. A couple of aunts and uncles laughed, a few of them gasped, others shrugged, and the colour drained from Gwen's face. "Each serving is basically the same as having an espresso," he continued. "Just think, no more Sunday afternoon slump after your roast." He was falling into his well-rehearsed sales pitch, but Gwen cut him off. "You little bastard, you tricked me, you tricked us all. I'll be up all night now, and you know Albert has trouble." "Oh, come off it, Gwen, it's caffeine, not crack." a little bit won't kill you," interjected Frida. "So, yeah, that's it," said Fred weakly. "Coming soon to Morrison's near you." He sat back down, and there was a brief silence before Aunt Frida started a round of applause, and everyone joined in, apart from Gwen, who gave him her strongest Medusa-like glare. The effects of the caffeine manifested themselves quite soon after the end of the dinner, with the kids running around the house excitedly and an overly expressive game of charades, followed by an unfortunate incident of after-eight throwing and a huffy exit from Gwen. However, after this short period of festive chaos, things quietened down, and Fred settled down on the sofa to explain his business model to Uncle Albert, who had quite enjoyed his caffeine boost, despite his previous trouble with it in his tea. Halfway through their conversation, Sasha ran up to them, with a chessboard under her arm, and fell onto him, giving him the hug he was sure a bear cub would give. "Grandad's still awake! You did it!" She pressed 50p into his palm and headed over to the table, where Grandad was waiting dutifully with a cup of tea and the chess pieces. He caught Fred's eye and winked as Sasha sat down opposite him. Merry Christmas, lad, he said. You did great.
Yay!
Excellent.
Yeah,
Christmas!
you did it.
He's amazing.
So yeah, caffeinated gravy.
I realised
That was
when,
your idea.
when they were saying about the granddad not being able to stay awake, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's what we got to.
I wondered how soon you would
Yeah.
realise that.
Because
that's what it was
caffeinated gravy, listeners at home and viewers,
Yeah,
is
viewers.
actually a really good idea for Christmas lunch because because turkey actually has a chemical in it that causes you to sleep.
Is it?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why you.
Is that why
fall
turkeys are so
asleep.
stupid?
Yes.
Probably, yeah. That's why
And
they're
livid
so
because they're constantly tired. No, that's why you actually do fall asleep more after Christmas dinner.
Oh, so it's even more important.
Yeah.
Christmas dinner.
Yeah. So caffeinated gravy people, get on this
Yeah.
train.
If
Get
you're
on
listening-
get on the gravy train.
Duncan
Get
Valentine.
on board the gravy boat.
If you're listening, Edwin Bistow. Is that his real name? No, I just made that up. I didn't know. Edwin Bistow.
Well, I don't know. We've got the
Or-
Coleman lady who does
Karen
the
Coleman.
Yeah, the
Jefferson Bovril.
Jefferson Bob.
Isn't that a rock band from the 70s? So yeah, I'm sorry
dear.
that's not your
That's,
idea.
that's
but
quite alright.
it
If this
occurs
gets
to
it
me.
into the public,
Public domain.
yeah,
Someone will make it.
Someone can come to me. I've copyrighted this idea.
Yeah.
I've posted it to
It's
myself.
definitely copyright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Copyright me.
So do not steal our ideas.
If you take
Your
it,
idea.
I will break your legs.
Oh, you can
With-
break my legs.
I'm going to break your legs. And then make them into gravy.
Yeah. So yeah, the idea of using that as that being the thing that happens on Christmas Day came to me when I was walking home the other day, and I, for some reason, just remembered that conversation that we'd had. Oh no, I was thinking about Dragon's Den ideas. This is
yeah.
Christmas related because I was having a conversation with someone on Twitter, and I can't remember who it was, about advent calendars and how if you get up in the morning and you eat your advent calendar chocolate, that's kind of like your breakfast, and then you're disappointed when you get home and there isn't one.
Yeah.
So
You
double
do.
chocolate advent calendars. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
I had
fat person in all of us.
I had the best advent calendar last year. It was
Did
a
you?
Kinder one, and it had Kinder eggs in some of them. So you had the little
A
Kinder
whole
chocolates. Yeah,
How big was it?
it was massive.
Oh.
It was like the size of my room.
My ideal advent calendar would just be normal size, but it would just be one big door, and it would just say Merry Christmas on it, and I'd open it, and it'd be a Cadbury's family size fruit and nut bar, and I'd just eat it.
Fruit and nut.
You could make that yourself.
I could, yeah. It's
You
just a
should.
cardboard box with
Yeah.
a door in it, scrawled,
I think you should.
Merry Christmas, Rob!
I think you should make a wooden boutique one, and then use it every year.
But it would get all chocolatey
Fancy
inside though. It would just melt.
Yeah.
It would,
Well, you can wrap it, don't you? They wrap the chocolate in foil.
No, but you take it off, because that's more... They don't, the chocolates in advent calendars aren't wrapped, are they?
Well, it's like
There's
a plastic
Yeah.
thing with a foil backing. So when you open the door, you have to punch through a bit of foil. Have you never
Right.
had an advent calendar? It's so
Maybe
good,
when I
right?
was a
What
kid,
about-
I don't care.
What about savoury advent calendars?
Savoury advent calendars is an extra picnic egg.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Oh, yeah, a sausage roll.
A little bit of turkey.
Ooh. Yeah, it's different components. So one's like a little gravy capsule,
Isn't
one's
that-
a pea.
It's just like a box of like party selection food from Iceland with 24 holes cut in the top of it.
It's
It's just
Iceland have released a new snack like frozen snack for Christmas this year, which is called Bubble prawns, which is
Okay.
prawns coated in Rice Krispies.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
That actually sounds alright.
for a pound.
Do you
for
put it
like
in
50
milk?
of them. No, like. Oh, I see.
And crackle.
Every time you've got to bring milk into it.
I do love the
It's
milk.
not gone off.
I like prawny milk. Don't you?
Ooh, like fish milk.
Milk.
Got a slight
Oh.
green tinge to it. Just a slight one. The colours of the sea.
So those are three quite nice Christmas stories, really. I think in a way that captured the magic of Christmas, each in their own way.
I wasn't going for Magic Christmas. I'm quite disappointed that you took a positive message.
Well,
from mine.
I was trying to be nice.
It had the. it did have a sort of Christmas feel to it, though.
Yeah.
Even if it was, you know.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed
And I think we
German
actually-
Sandra producer.
Yeah.
We managed to cover quite a wide spectrum of
We
the
did.
emotions that
Yours
were
was
associated
very
with Christmas.
idiosyncratically Christmas. Like there were lots and lots of little touches, which like the after eights. And
Yeah, it was
the
set
concerts.
at my family Christmas basically.
I
Although
could-
we don't have a horror.
I was
plant.
picturing
Everyone
it
in my family's nice,
in your
but
house. I was picturing it in your house, like all the rooms and
My
stuff.
house isn't big enough. But we get to one of my aunt's houses.
Yeah.
But we don't have a horror plant. They're all nice.
Yeah.
That would,
In
no,
case
no
they
one
listen.
would throw an after eight. The person most likely to throw an after eight at our Christmas would be me.
Yeah. Throwing chocolate around.
Too much whiskey.
Yeah.
Too much port.
Oh god, yeah, poor.
Yeah.
The gout drink. The gout drink.
Gout wine.
Gout wine. Yeah, that's essentially what it is.
So yeah, thank you very, very much for tuning in.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed our Christmas stories and they've helped get you into the festive spirit.
Yeah, I hope so.
And we would like to wish you a very Merry Christmas.
And a spiffing New Year.
Yeah.
So we'll be back in the first couple of weeks of January 2014. We have not decided on a theme.
I have.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
It's your turn.
Oh.
It's your turn, isn't it?
The
Yeah.
theme is a letter opener. That theme again is
Ooh.
a letter opener.
Very nice. Classic. Classic. I can imagine that being in a creative writing class.
Yeah.
Like as a theme. It's a good one.
That's
Letter
good.
opener.
That's
Yeah.
very good.
Someone's going to get stabbed. In one story.
You're gonna get stabbed.
Sounds
Mine's
like-
gonna be
You
about
know.
3 friends who make a podcast and 2 of them are really annoying and they get stabbed with a letter opener.
And then the other one takes over the podcast.
Yeah.
Is this going to be another story starring Shobert Roman
Yeah.
and Gobert Roman
Sherman.
and Jaddy Ponston?
If you're a
those
boxer,
three get
if you're a
lot of
boxer
stories.
or like joined MMA, Paddy, you'd have to be Jabby Ponston.
Jabby Ponston.
Biff, biff.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
So we're going to have to play us out a Christmas cover with Softball, aka me,
and your computer.
and my computer. There's some guitar on it as well.
And your guitar.
Yeah. Doing a cover of Last Christmas by Wham.
That one.
Yeah. That one.
Sorry.
One of those Christmas songs.
We're sitting
It
against
is-
a
it
really
is-
warm radiator
Yeah, it's very
and falling asleep.
Yeah, that's fall asleep. So yeah, thanks very, very much for tuning in. Very, very Christmas, and we'll see you again in the new year.
Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Once bitten, twice shy, keep my distance, but you still catch my eye. Tell me, baby, do you recognize me? Well, it's been a year, it doesn't surprise me. Merry Christmas, I wrapped it up and sent it with a note saying I love you, I meant it. Now I know what a fool I've been, but if you kissed me now, I know you'd fool me again. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. tired eyes hiding from you, and your soul of eyes. Gotta thought you were someone to rely on. Me, I guess I was a shoulder to cry on, a face on a lover with a fire in his heart, a man undercover but you tore me apart. Now I found the real love, I found the real love. You'll never fool me again. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Last Christmas I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. A face on a lover with a fire in his heart, a man undercover but you tore me apart. Oh, ooh, now I found a real love, you'll never fool me again. A face on a lover with a fire in his heart, a man undercover but you tore me apart.